Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Nine of Vessels and Generosity. And when I was thinking about this card today, I was like, how fitting it is that it comes after the Five of Stones and Endurance, and they're both sitting. Okay, one sitting by the campfire as they just walked out of that cave after facing the Guardian 2 days ago. And now you're sitting there with all this emotional energy, let's just say, or psychic energy. And, the biggest bowl is right there between your legs. So, as you came out of that cave yesterday and saw the storm approaching, maybe you set your cups out and you said, you know what, this is a good time to, harvest some of this natural water. All right. Because, when it rains, it pours. And, when it pours, it gives you opportunity to do a lot of things, okay? One is to cleanse yourself, okay? Both physically as well as metaphorically. Cleanse yourself of that spirit, right? Of all the dirt and grime from your travels, okay? But also cleanse yourself of the negative attitudes, that you had to face when you had the Guardian there, when you had the fear, okay? So, here you've got the rain coming down, that storm that happened, and you took shelter, and you filled up your cups, and you just, you sat there and you just embraced the storm. And you just let it wash away all those negative feelings, all those fears, all right? And in return, as you're letting that flow out, you're receiving love from the universe, okay? You're receiving that white light as you're purging out the black light. And I was thinking, as I was thinking, this is awesome, because just like the Ten of Cups, which is right after this, and it's happiness, once again, you've gotten to a point where all your vessels are filled and it's overflowing. You couldn't catch all the rain that happened, last night during that storm, and I'm saying the storm, it was a storm here last night, but also the storm that was in the card of the Five of Vessels. And, as you sat there and you reflected, okay, and you looked at, okay, what were those fears that I was facing? What was that dark energy as I walked through this cave 2 days ago? And allowed that hooded man to drop off, that life lessons card of the hooded man to look within. So as you took stock of what was going on within yourself and understanding, where the abundance is, okay, it's all within your emotional fortitude. And that Six of Bows abundance is still down here as well, okay? So here you've reunited. This is the card that's up, from the last week, okay, the Six of Vessels in reunion. You sat by that pool with all the life lessons cards out there, the hooded man, the archer, then the King of Bows, the King of Arrows. They were all there guiding you, okay? And they've kind of let you go on your way now. Even though you were sitting here by this pool, okay? They've decided, you know what? You're in this transition. It's time for you to grow without our help. It's time for you to, pass that joy on with everybody else. So you do have, three Vessels cards down here out of the 7. And there's still 2 6s out of there, with this being a 9 and a 3, okay. You look at that numerology and it's just, sometimes it's amazing how things add up, okay. But as you're sitting there and you're taking restock of where you're at on your journey, okay. You're sitting by the fire, you're watching the storm come in, you set out your vessels so you can refill them. And the biggest vessel that's being filled is here. You're getting re-energized with that love. You're getting re-energized with that joy. You're getting re-energized with that happiness. Okay? And as a result, your spirit starts to feel generous. Okay? Yes, you faced your fears. Yes, you've gone through that cave. You're in a transition now. And you're blessed because this is regenerative energy. And, as a result of, taking this opportunity to sit down and think about it, you're gaining knowledge along this path, okay? And when you reach that pinnacle of success, or you reach that pinnacle of your journey, don't forget the efforts that helped you reach that point. You've got to look back and see how far you've come. We talked about that yesterday during that 5 of Stones endurance. Take that opportunity as you're sitting around all these vessels of water. Where was I a week ago? Where was I a month ago? Where was I last year at this time? And just realize that every challenge that's come along your way, you've passed. You've been successful on your journey, on your spiritual path, especially since you've crossed over in the Wildwood here about a month ago. Okay? And now you can let that, again, with the, like the 10 of vessels, that happiness, now you can let some of that spill over and be generous to others. And it doesn't have to be, a financial generosity. It could be, if that's, how you feel, but it could be as generous as giving somebody a smile, saying hello, opening a door for them, have a good day, have a better day, things on that nature. Giving them a compliment, right? And when you're able to do that, you change the perspective within yourself. Okay? Yes, you're receiving love from the universe, but now you're also giving it out. Okay? And the more you do, the more you get. Okay? And the more you fill these up, the more it's going to spill over. So manage good times by helping those in need. And it doesn't have to be financial. It could be spiritual. You could come home from work and just, I'm going to pray for that individual I seen on a, sitting on the curb the other day, right? Or, just anywhere to have a helping hand. Help a neighbor out, right? And do that out of the gift of love, right? Not out of obligation or anything like that. So, that's how you can be generous with what you have, all right? And when you do that, you're going to be blessed. You're going to be blessed moving forward. Maybe it's 2-fold, 3-fold, maybe it's 10-fold. It may not happen tomorrow, may not happen next week, but somewhere down the line, it's going to happen. And then you can look back and you say, wow, how did I get through those bad times? Oh, that was so-and-so that helped me out. And why did they help me out? Because I prayed for them. Or, I gave them a hand, doing the yard work, right? That's how karma comes back around. That's how karma helps you out. That's how the universe continues to bless you, as you move forward. By opening yourself up to spirit and just giving freely, okay, you become a conduit of universal energy and giving. And like I said, the more you do, the more you grow. The more you grow, the more you open up. The more you open up, the more they give. Okay? You are not going to be able to fill all these vessels. You're not going to be able to fill the 10. Even if the 10 was there, that's 19 vessels. You're not going to be able to fill them all up. Or let me rephrase that. You're going to fill them all up, but you're not going to catch everything. Because, there's always going to be a drop that's going to be missed. And it's not a missed opportunity. Because what has landed in your cups is meant for you. It's meant for you to give out how you want to give it out. Giving it out in love, giving it out in finance, giving it out in helping hands, right? But it's of your heart. It's not out of obligation. So that's today's tarot card of the day, out of the Wildwood Tarot deck, the 9 of Vessels and generosity. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, share it with others, and give me a thumbs up. And this is D for Spirit's Path. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, God bless, and stay safe, everybody.